Welcome to our YouTube series, 60-Second Highlights on Risk. And this is episode 13, the final episode in our summer series, Protecting Directors and Officers Against Personal Liability. Today we'll talk about two subjects briefly. One, current issues. Two, final thoughts on protecting directors and officers against personal liability. Current issues. In rapid fire, very briefly, trade talks with the U.S. Will NAFTA affect supply chains? Will it affect plant closures and employment? Environmental risks. The NorthStar case is a landmark case. Significant personal environmental liabilities to directors and officers. Cyber liabilities are exploding. We as directors and officers must be responsible for the cyber risks of our organizations. Pension funds are underwater since 2013. Low interest rates are forcing undue risk-taking in volatile investments. Class actions are on the rise. Employment suits are on the rise. Federal and provincial business corporation acts present many different responsibilities for directors and officers, which we should be all aware of. Canadian anti-spam legislation and climate change is changing the physical risks of many of our assets. So here's some final thoughts on protecting directors and officers against personal liability. First of all, directors and officers' liability risk mitigation requires management of conduct, indemnities, and insurance. Three pillars to protecting directors and officers: conduct, indemnities, and insurance. Secondly, employment practices litigation is the #1 source of litigation and claims against directors and officers of private, public, and non-profit organizations. Thirdly, don't buy coverage based on price. Buy coverage based on quality. Price is not an issue. There's plenty of competition in the directors and officers insurance marketplace, but ensuring that you have a properly arranged program is the challenge. Audit your directors and officers insurance program. Take advantage of the rapidly improving competitive D&O insurance marketplace. And lastly, be aware of your enterprise-wide risks. You are responsible. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you for seeing our 13 episodes on protecting directors and officers against personal liability. And I would suggest that you go to our website, which covers a broad number of subjects relative to this area. Thank you.